Even with that Nürburgring winning setup, the Edition 50 keeps the heart and soul of the GTI lineage intact. A balance of practicality, performance, and polish that's made it iconic since 1976. Not the fastest Volkswagen ever, but it is close. Let's be fair, it's not the fastest VW in history. That title still belongs to the spaceship-like Volkswagen IDR, an electric prototype that posted a sci-fi-worthy 605 back in 2019. But that was a closed cockpit, single-seat electric weapon built strictly for records. It didn't have airbags or a VIN number, so while the IDR will always reign in terms of raw speed, the GTI Edition 50 now officially holds the crown among real, production spec Volkswagens. The kind of cars that you and I and your friend next door can buy. We can register them, and if we dare, we can take it to the edge. Coming to a garage near you. Maybe. Volkswagen plans to officially debut the Edition 50 at the Nürburgring on June 20th, just before the start of the 24 hours of Nürburgring. A poetic choice, really, one of the world's greatest tracks, introducing one of Volkswagen's greatest cars. It's expected to go on sale globally next year, though in limited numbers. So if you want to own a piece of this lap time legacy, start sweet talking your local VW dealer now. And here finally is why this matters. This record is more than just a number. It is a celebration of 50 years of GTI heritage. A reminder that even in an age of electrification and automation, there is still room for analog thrills, for cars with soul, for gasoline-powered grins and that start at the front wheels and end in your spine feeling. This wasn't just a lap around Nürburgring. It was a lap around history. And the GTI didn't just drive it, it owned it. And that is why the Golf GTI Edition is tonight's not car of the night, but the honorable mention. And maybe, just maybe, the most fun you have with a hatchback and a helmet. Man, that is exciting. The next chapter in Grand Prix racing is starting to take shape, and it all begins Tuesday, September 16th at the legendary Misano World Circuit, Marcello Simoncelli. That is when Pirelli, the world's oldest Italian tire, will hold its first ever MotoGP test as it prepares to become the exclusive tire provider for the series starting in 2027. Yes, the same company known for gripping the pavement in Formula 1, World Superbikes, and Moto2 and Moto3, they are stepping into the big leagues of premier class motorcycle racing. And while 2027 may feel a few seasons away, make no mistake, the race to be ready has already begun. 2 days after the San Marino Grand Prix and just 1 day after the official IRTA test, Misano will go from checkered flags to compound science slabs. 5 MotoGP manufacturers will each supply 1 test rider and a laboratory bike. The first tools in the toolkit to evaluate and evolve Pirelli's MotoGP specific rubber. Now, these aren't just current race bikes with a new set of boots. These lab bikes are tailored to stimulate what MotoGP machines will look like under the 2027 regulation. This means 1000cc prototypes, no ride height devices, reduced aero packages, and more. And power cut by 40 to 50 horsepower. Now, I love horsepower, but you can think of these as a glimpse into the not-so-distant future, unfortunately. They're leaner, they're cleaner, and with a renewed focus on rider input and mechanical grip, this is exactly what Pirelli wants. Pirelli initially hoped to conduct the test after the Aragon Grand Prix earlier this year, but logistical challenges delayed the plan. Now, with all parties aligned, Misano has become the first official milestone in Pirelli's MotoGP journey. And yes, Pirelli is footing the bill, for the first round of testing at least. That wasn't always a given. Negotiations between the tire supplier and teams included some back and forth over who would pay for tire tests, now and in the future. While Pirelli will cover this session, future 2026s will shift financial responsibility to the teams, a point that caused friction in early talks. Details of a longer-term agreement haven't been made public yet, but sources suggest a truce has been reached and more extensive tests featuring the full-time MotoGP riders are expected to roll out in 2026. Changing tire suppliers in MotoGP isn't like switching oil brands in your garage. It affects everything: setup, rider feedback, racing lines, overtaking behavior, and even the identity of the sport. Michelin, the outgoing supplier, has shaped the modern MotoGP era with its high grip compounds and stable profiles. Now Pirelli brings its own DNA, one forged in the fires of World's SBK, where aggressive wear rates and dramatic racing have become trademarks. This initial Misano test is Pirelli's first real-world chance to test several early generation compounds, dialing in the balance between longevity, feedback, grip, and resistance to heat. It's the first taste of what a Pirelli-powered MotoGP grid might feel like, and it's being crafted right now, compound by compound, corner by corner. And you can look ahead after September's test. Pirelli's data science and engineering teams will go to work. 2026 will see an expanding testing schedule at multiple circuits featuring a wider range of riders and conditions. The goal: ensure that by the time the 2027 season kicks off, every rider on the grid trusts the tires beneath them. MotoGP may be known for its riders, teams, and machinery, but never forget, the only thing connecting a 350-kilometer-an-hour missile to the racetrack is a palm-sized patch of rubber.